Hey guys, I want to welcome you to my first sketchbook tour. I really like going and watching videos of other people's sketchbooks, so I thought I'd just do my own. This is a pretty old sketchbook. I started it in 2010, I think, and I just finished it up maybe 2 years ago, so it's pretty old artwork. I plan on doing a newer one when I finish a new sketchbook. I have a really hard time filling up my sketchbooks from beginning to end. I usually just skip around, and I have a hard time going in order too. Do you guys have that problem? Gosh. So this is a Moleskine or Moleskine. I think you pronounce it Moleskine, but I don't know. I apologize in advance because a lot of these pictures are going to be oriented funky, and I'll have to switch the sketchbook back and around all the time, but hopefully it'll be worth it. So, forewarning to people who don't like artwork of naked people, this is going to be full of quite a few figures that don't have clothes on. So if you have any sort of dislike or you prefer not to see figures in the nude, maybe you should wait for my next sketchbook tour, which will have a little bit less. Actually, that's not true. All of my sketchbooks have a lot of figures in the nude. However, they're really, they don't get much worse than these ones. There's no explicit, you know, body parts that you need to be worried about. It's pretty much just very basic, nothing too detailed. So I figured it was not too bad. So all of these sketches were done while I was in my freshman year, or my first year of taking art in college, which was in 2000, yeah, the early 2000s, I guess. I am still in art school. I left art school for a while, did some other things, got a degree in another area, and then I recently went back to art school about a year ago to get a degree in illustration. So that's why I am still in art school. So I have quite a few pictures of just areas of the body that I really like, that interest me. Collarbones are one of the things that I just really enjoy. I also take notes when I'm drawing about what I'm thinking or things that I like or dislike about the actual sketch. This says, hands are extraordinary, especially the left hand, which is, in my case, the weaker of the two. It can do so much, but so little in comparison to the right hand. So that's actually my hand 7 years ago. This is a contour drawing, trying to just get the idea of a figure in six lines. Excuse you, sir, honking. I think this woman is supposed to be splashing in a puddle. I'm not sure if that is interpreted well. I apologize for the really squeaky car outside my window. Don't really know why that's happening in the middle of the day. So a lot of these nude figures would have been models in my art class, so that we could draw from reference. So this is a young lady that we had. It said, the human form in as few lines as possible. Humans are fluid and graceful things that need to be portrayed as such. Not sure if I got that across. A little bit of gesture movement, or what I thought was gesture movement at the time. It's kind of a weird angle. I'm surprised that I was brave enough to try that. Typically, this was more my speed. Just very simple, safe, I would say the word is. So, as you can see, I really enjoy gesture drawing, kind of that flowy, lots of pencil lines. I really enjoy lines, but I also really like movement, which was true even at the beginning of my art. Don't like this one. Her head is too big. Oh, well. Again, I apologize for the flippy floppy. My sketchbook is all over the place. And this is funny. It says profile using value, but I see this and there's a lot of lines. I might not have known what value meant. Not really being drawn in shape, which is what that would have meant. Got some ears, noses. You see here, like, there's a little bit of smudge from the graphite from the other page. I tend to only work on one page now in my sketchbooks to avoid that, but at the time I didn't. Just starting out, kind of learning stuff. Contour, it says, which just means drawing in lines. This is the self-portrait. Got some wonky facial anatomy going on, but those are my eyes. This is a really nice muscle study. I had not studied any anatomy at the time. I have since, and I can see a few mistakes, but it's pretty good for a beginner, I think. The way our bodies work, the muscles, tendons, all of the mechanic perfections, that is a beauty in and of itself. There's a little red star, which means that my instructor liked it. Woohoo! Foot. Oh, this is same position as figure A11, which is same as this one, but a little bit more gesture, which just means more scribbly, I guess. The gesture drawings, they kind of look like wire figures almost. It's kind of cool. The study of some ribcage bones, which is inaccurate. That's not really what they look like. There's a lot more connection going on between the sternum and each individual rib, but that's pretty cool. It looks kind of like a spider web. So I have this one, a little bit more value, this one, which is a little bit more gesture. These were from photos. We didn't have an actual skeleton in the classroom, I don't think. Here's another one liked by my instructor. I tend to use this movement line, the center line of the body when I draw figures now, but at the time I had just discovered this and I was like, whoa, it's so cool. So finding movement in the body with the center line is a really good tip for trying to make a cohesive figure drawing. Playing sports. Some more bone studies. A mouth, which I think I was trying to be edgy at this point and like draw a grotesque mouth, but it just looks pretty dumb. Some knees, note from my instructor. I got an A. Hooray. These are some, this is mostly for my classes at the time. We were studying different artists and then we'd have to do a project based on the artist we were studying. So this is Hundertwasser, really cool artist who uses a lot of line and movement and pattern in his stuff. So it's pretty cool. So these are all examples of ideas that I would have for a project based on Hundertwasser. So there's that one. Little village or dwellings with little stick figures. Very unrealistic stick figures. I've always really liked, ever since I was a kid, these patterned lines, kind of repeating lines to make shapes. I do it a lot when I doodle. I'll just fill up a whole entire page of repeating lines. And relaxing. This one looks apocalyptic, like fire and smoke, or maybe trees, not sure. So this is the project, my final project was actually based on this preliminary sketch. I changed a lot of it to fit the project. I got rid of some birds and these little like creepy faces down here I think I got rid of and changed some elements, but this was the final idea I went with. Oh, we've got a Easter egg shaped one. Which, I actually had a friend in my class who we were like going over our sketches and I'd already picked out the other one I was going to do and she's like, oh, I want to put mine into an Easter egg shape. And I was like, okay, cool, that's not what I'm doing. And in our review, our instructor was like, I wish you hadn't put it in an Easter egg shape. It really limits it. And I was like, oh no, she got that idea from me. I'm so glad I didn't do it. So, grand architecture and simple houses. I think these are supposed to be columns, but they kind of look like waterfalls, maybe. We got some feet. Really badly drawn feet. Like, they look like tree stumps or something. Oh, I actually did my own personal project based on this sketch. I have to find, I don't think I have any more. Man, I was pretty proud of it at the time. So after I finished the Hundertwasser project, we did a study of Kiki Smith, who's another cool artist that you should check out if you enjoy finding new artists. And it was a project all about nightmares or dreams. So I have a reoccurring dream that has an elk in it. So there's an elk. Some freaky, I don't know, I think it's an owl, maybe a cat? I don't know. We were supposed to draw things that we were scared of, or that people are scared of in general. So we have some dead mice. I'm not actually scared of mice, I think they're cute, but people find them creepy. And I tried to make them like falling. Maybe they would be more scary if they were falling on top of me. I have this mirror, which I incorporated into the final project, but I'm not scared of mirrors and I don't dream about them. So I'm not sure what I was going with there. Maybe I was just like, this is something that people could be scared of. I could dream of a mirror. Swarms of bugs. Terrifying. Stairway into nowhere. Kind of creepy, nightmarish. I have this sensation of floating in my dreams, but like I'm usually trying to run away from something and I can't float fast enough. It's like the speed is, I feel like I'm floating through like pudding or something. So not being able to walk. I drew my cell phone, my flip phone at the time, because I hate talking on the phone. And I legitimately, I think I probably had an irrational phobia of talking on the phone at the time. I'm a lot better at it now, just because I'm an adult. But don't like talking on the phone. Swimming in deep water, not my fave. I'm not a good swimmer. Oh, this is another idea that I put to my final project. Losing your personality or your identity. Ooh. That's probably my biggest fear to date still, is something happening to me where I just like lose all of my memories or forget who I am. Identity is important, you know? We have some carnivorous plants. Not cool, bro. Flamingos are also a legitimate fear. They have creepy eyes and they have very pointy beaks. So this is a mock-up of my final project. I think I have erasers in here. Of my final project that I incorporate a lot of different things in. An elk, this is your swarms of bugs. I don't know why her head is so big. I think I was trying to make it creepy. So the floating feeling, losing your identity. I put the mirrors in. I actually used like silver leaf foil on the mirrors. And I glued like real grass on the bottom with like the lumpy Gorilla Glue. So it looked like swampy grass. It was weird. Pretty weird project, but you know. Here's that. And then I actually drew something that I enjoy. This wasn't a project or anything for school. This was just an art stomp that I went on with my brother, my sister, and my dad. My sister is a photographer and my dad is a filmographer and I am a illustrator. And so we kind of go on these forays into nature where my dad will film really cool nature bits and my sister will take great pictures and I try to draw as well as I can stuff around me. So I actually really enjoyed that. But I sat here and this was maybe an hour and a half where I sat in one place on like some really cool river rocks and drew this. And then started this one, didn't have enough time to finish it. This is the last page, last set of pages, I guess. This is just, I was bored one day and I just drew a cup that was sitting in front of me. And a book. Probably just stuff that was like on my coffee table. A little poem, like a line of a poem. It says, I wish I smelled like chamomile and my limbs reminded people of birch limbs. So yeah, there's artsy fartsy Candace getting intense for you. And my very last page, which I tend to leave my last sketchbook page to make swatches of art materials that I get. So these are some metallic pens. You can't really see the metallic shine, but a gold one and a copper one. And then these are, I think these are the Winsor Newton brush markers. Let me see. Maybe not. Is it? Maybe not. Some sort of brush marker. I was trying out the colors and the metallic pens. So that's usually what my last page of my sketchbook is, and then that's it. It also comes with the sketchbook comes with a little pocket to put artwork in if you don't actually draw in the sketchbook and you want to put, you know, stuff in your collection. But I hardly ever use that, just because it would be stuffed full. I draw a lot on loose leaf paper, and I usually just kind of keep those in folders. So yeah, that's the completed sketchbook tour. If you like this, or if you like watching sketchbook tours in general, give this a thumbs up and a like so that I can know that and I can make some more in the future. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Till next time.